Ladies and gentlemen, it is about to be, as the kids these days say, fucking heat. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode, I believe, 34 of the TEW 2016 Challenge Run. We are finally booking the go-home show to Money in the Bank. Feels like forever I've been building up to this god-fucking damn pay-per-view because I took two-week breaks in the middle there. But this is finally the wrap-up of all the storylines heading into Money in the Bank. Let's get into it. We start with Drake Maverick, EC3 and Mojo Rawley cutting a standard heel promo in the ring, saying how those of you who love Seth Rollins, he slayed the beast, blah blah blah, well, enjoy tonight because in 6 nights' time it's all about to come to an end when my man EC3 takes him on for the Universal Championship at Money in the Bank, and make no mistake about it, EC3 will defeat Seth Rollins and end this fairy tale run that the now called Beast Slayer has been going on. This would bring Seth Rollins out himself, and he'd be like, ha ha ha. EC3, Drake and EC3 are very confident for somebody who's won the United States Championship but not done a whole lot else. He's done nothing since he came to Raw. He lost his only match on Raw when he walked out of that Money in the Bank qualifier against Elias, if you can remember that far back. Yet I'm supposed to sit here and be intimidated thinking he's this great threat. I've beaten Brock Lesnar, I've beaten Braun Strowman. You can put whoever you want in front of me, I'll chop him down to size and stomp him to the ground. Like I did to your little goon Mojo Rawley last week. Mojo would get in Seth's face, and then EC3 would get in his face as well, and Seth would be like, okay, how about right now we have ourselves a tag team match? It'll be you two, Drake Maverick's little bitches, against myself and this man. This man being Flip Gordon, who we haven't seen since he got taken out by Paige's clan on 205 Live, but he was the man Drake Maverick threw to the wolves, so to speak, against Seth Rollins when the mansion, well, EC not in the mansion, just EC3 and Drake came out and attacked him when he was in that match with Seth Rollins in the main event. So he's now going to team with Seth Rollins against Drake Maverick's 2 mansion members, EC3 and Mojo Rawley. Match gets an 82B, and it's Mojo Rawley and EC3 who pick up the win when EC3 pins Flip Gordon with the 1%er, giving him some last-minute momentum heading into the Universal Championship match at Money in the Bank. Don't know why I had Mojo in a call-in ring match. Anyway, we get a Spoopy Broom promo by Bray Wyatt, and the camera pans and we see his brother Bo Dallas stood by his side. And Bray is like, for so long I was a horrible brother. For those of you who may not know, Bo Dallas is my brother, but I neglected him because I seeked this cult following, and I called Luke Harper and Eric Rowan and Braun Strowman. They were my brothers, so to speak, neglecting my true family. But now I've seen the light. Abigail has brought me to the light, and I see that my dearest brother is being taken advantage of by a crook known as Shinsuke Nakamura. And make no mistake about it, this isn't a new Wyatt family. This is just Bray Wyatt trying to cleanse himself from the sins of the past by opening up as this sort of guiding light, this comfort. And if you're feeling unjustly assaulted or are feeling abused or just like that, basically, Bray Wyatt, he'll take you in and he'll guide you to the light like he's done with his... Just because Bo Dallas is his brother, it's not exclusive to him. And soon the universe will be cleansed of all wrongdoings. So Bray Wyatt taking in Bo Dallas because he was constantly getting attacked by Shinsuke, and says that this isn't the end of Bo Dallas. No, this isn't the end of Bray Wyatt's. It's not a new Wyatt family, it's just him trying to guide people to see the light like he did. We get the last women's Money in the Bank match. We did Naomi, Sonya, Naomi and Bianca. Bianca and Sonya here. Bianca Belair scores the win over Sonya Deville with the KOD. That's her second win. She beat Naomi. I believe Sonya lost both matches. So poor, sucks to be her. But after the match, Bianca Belair boasts about how she won here tonight and how she beat Naomi 2 weeks ago. No, last week. Yeah. And how that makes her the best, the strongest, the smartest, and the next Miss Money in the Bank, and where she'll win it and cash it in to become the greatest NXT Raw Women's Champion of all time. This would bring out Naomi, who would obviously object with these words, be like, nah, sis, I'm going to win, I'm the baddest here on Monday Night Raw. It'd get into like a kerfuffle before they get broken up by road agents. Dash Wilder scores the pinfall over Jimmy Uso with the Yakuza kick, giving him and Scott Dawson the momentum heading into the Raw Tag Team Championship match at Money in the Bank, which the two teams do have an altercation after the match as well, which would be the Usos. Scott Dawson would jump on Jey Uso, whichever one didn't wrestle, on the outside to celebrate before celebrating with Dash, but then that Uso, Jey, I believe it was, whichever Uso didn't compete just then, gets into the ring after getting attacked by Dawson at the end of the match and would deliver a super kick to Dawson. Dash would try and attack him, and the other Uso would get up, and they'd hit Dash Wilder with double super kicks and a double splash, and then pose with the Raw Tag Team Championships to make a statement that they are the greatest tag team on Raw. Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf again lose, this time to the Street Profits, with Montez Ford again pinning Alexander Wolf, which leads to a post-match. Hold on. Got to change Angelo Dawkins' gimmick. Post-match, Killian Dane is visibly frustrated again with Alexander Wolf for getting pinned. And again, he screams at him like, you're letting her down, you're a loser. And then he gets the steel chair in the ring again and demands Wolf get on his knees and take the chair shots that Killian Dane's going to dish out to him for not causing chaos. When all of a sudden, Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas are stood in the ring, and Bo would have a steel chair himself, and him and Killian Dane would have a standoff, both of them threatening to hit each other with steel chairs. And then Wolf, who's still on his knees, Bray Wyatt would go up to Wolf, put his hand on Wolf's head, and like whisper inaudibly to him stuff we can't hear. And then the lights will go off again, they come back on, and Wolf is gone with Bray Wyatt and with Bo Dallas. So Alexander Wolf, who's been getting abused because he's been coming up short recently, Bray Wyatt has stepped in yet again like he did with Bo Dallas and has decided to take Wolf away. We then get a sit-down interview with Becky Lynch and Ruby Riott heading into their match at Money in the Bank, hosted by Renee Young. Not really much here to say. Ruby Riott saying how Becky was over on SmackDown. She had to sit on SmackDown running her mouth while her and the Riott Squad were over here being the chaos that they claimed they were. Whilst Becky was just threatening chaos and she was just threatening to change the system. Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan, they did just that. And at Money in the Bank, Ruby Riott's going to finally claim her Holy Grail and win the Raw Women's Championship. Becky would laugh, obviously, at Ruby and be like, well, you say you're the Riott Squad, you say you're all about chaos and causing a riot, but I've made more of a riot in the last 6 months than you have your whole career, because while you claim to be this dominant Riot Squad who doesn't obey the rules, I've proven time and time again that I don't obey by the rules. And honestly, Ruby, if you don't obey by the rules, I'd love you to show me. And then she'd stand up, but Ruby would not fight her. She'd just walk out of the room. Becky would hold the championship up, and we'd get the lingering shot of Becky as we go to the next segment, which is another Rhea Ripley squash, where she has just murdered poor Isla Dawn by crushing her spinal cord. That is her out for over a year. But Rhea Ripley gets the win and continues her momentum. We then get a backstage segment with the Undisputed Era in their little backstage interview place where they all stand and hang about. And Adam Cole is talking about how he got pinned by Elias last week, and how this isn't their Undisputed Era being put in check. That was just a fluke because he was taken off guard. He wasn't prepared for a match, but the new Raw general manager, poor sweet little Nikki Bella, thought she'd flex her power and take her frustrations out on Adam Cole, baby. But what Nikki doesn't know is the Undisputed Era isn't here just to be put off by one mishap with the general manager. They're here to dominate, as evidenced when AJ Styles still is not showing his face around here since Payback. And he's like, oh, in the main event, we've got the last little Money in the Bank match in the main event tonight. It's Mustafa Ali and Elias. Would be a shame if we were to put a little end or throw a spanner in Nikki's little plan for a perfect show. But in the meantime, later on tonight, we also have Kyle and Bobby in tag team action. And that's right now. They defeat Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Kurt Hawkins takes the pinfall. And Hawkins and Ryder still trying to... They had that brief period where they looked like they were on the right track, but now they apparently are falling back down. Johnny Gargano is Charlie Caruso getting final words on his match with Samoa Joe. Charlie saying, you've got your chance to win your first championship here in WWE on the WWE main roster. How are you feeling ahead of this Sunday? And Johnny's like, he'd put over Joe, say, absolutely not. Joe is one of the most dangerous competitors here on Monday Night Raw. He's one of the greatest professional wrestlers of this generation. He's been turning his craft around the world for nearly 2 decades. But I can't let that distract me. I'm Johnny freaking Wrestling. I've made a career out of defying the odds and slaying men bigger than myself, more experienced than myself. So, a Money in the Bank, Samoa Joe better not take me easy and see me as just this one little cruiserweight he can pick a fight on. Because he's going to know it's not about the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight and the dog. And if I get the chance to, I'm going to slap that Gargano escape on Joe, make him submit and become Johnny America. Nikki Bella in her office, and in walks Mr. Baron Corbin. And he's like trying to kiss up to Nikki. He's like, hey Nikki, great job you've done the first 2 shows. I think you're going to be a great general manager here. And she's like, yeah, what do you want? Because she knows Corbin. He's like, just want you to know that when Kurt Angle was away as a general manager, I was put in as his constable, and I've been told by Stephanie McMahon herself that I did a pretty bang up job, if I do say so myself. So if you're ever feeling overwhelmed, or you ever need somebody to step in to help you with the decisions and operations here on Monday Night Raw, I've got experience. I've got a good track record. Do you mind that I'm always here? Just give me a call. Nikki Bella's, she's like not happy with this, so she says, what you need to worry about, Baron, is not being my second in command or my reserve, my assistant, whichever one you want to be. You need to turn your butt around and get in that ring and have another match with Cedric Alexander. Corbin not happy with this because he wanted to try and weasel his way back into being like the Constable or getting himself back in power, but Nikki Bella shuns him away. We get the match with Cedric Alexander, and Baron Corbin this time gets his win back over Cedric at the end of days. Not much else to it, really. We then get Shooting the Breeze. One final time before Money in the Bank with no special guests this week. His special guests are Aaliyah and Tainara Conti, who are there every week. Stood there looking fancy, and he puts over how he's seen these two girls who he took from NXT to be part of his charade. He'd be his boutique, his two glamour girls, but now they've turned into a serious, threatening women's tag team, and how on Sunday they're going to look even more gorgeous and beautiful with those women's tag team championships draped around their waist when they beat those scoundrels, those uggos, those wrestlers. He'd use it as sort of a derogatory term. Sasha Banks and Bayley. And then they'd celebrate, and then Sasha and Bayley would come out onto the stage, not happy with the words Tyler Reed's been spitting about them, and get into basically a four-way catfight with Aaliyah and Conti. Slaps, hair everywhere, shoes everywhere, leading to Tyler Breeze holding one of Sasha or Bayley back, probably Bayley, allowing Aaliyah to kick her, knock her down, and then a 2-on-1 attack on Sasha Banks. And then Aaliyah and Conti, as is always the theme with heel challengers on my booking, pick up the World Women's Championships and hold them in the air, take selfies with them, because they look fabulous and dashing. Oh, this is going to be a bad show. Ali defeats Elias in the main event with the 054. Real story is after the match, Adam Cole, Bay and the rest of the Undisputed Era storm the ring. They take out Mustafa Ali. They beat up Elias as well. They'd hit Elias with total elimination, and Roddy would hit End of Heartache on Ali, and then he'd get onto his knees or he gets hit with the last shot. Then they'd pull out a ladder. Adam Cole Bay climbs the ladder, and as his go-home tradition for Money in the Bank, he unhooks the Money in the Bank briefcase, seemingly dooming him to defeat this Sunday. But will that be the case? Only time will tell. As we now finish the final go-home Raw, it gets us an Given that main event, I'm actually content with an 82B. But now, we're finally, all the build to Money in the Bank is finally done from Raw's end. Next time you will see these guys will be at the pay-per-view itself. Got two more shows to go, one more episode to go before then though. That is SmackDown and 205 Live. I'll hopefully see you then.